think we'll try to gesture towards answers to the last questions that are very important and very large. But what I would like to say first is that I hope you continue to have meetings like this. And you don't need to have someone come in from some other place to engage around these issues. First of all, thank you so much for your very moving remarks about the importance of the struggle of domestic workers. And of course, during the era of global capitalism, we have seen that there's a kind of a new slave trade. Or one might make the analogy with domestic workers from South America and from the Philippines traveling all over the world, to the Middle East, to Europe. And I'm thinking myself that Black women in the U.S., women of African descent in the U.S. until the end of the 1950s primarily worked as domestic workers, domestic workers and agricultural workers. My mother was a domestic worker. This is how she was able to get an education, by cleaning people's houses so that she was able to attend high school. So we can't forget these histories. And we need to translate them into robust contemporary solidarities. And I wanted to also point out that that we're doing work attempting to build a solidarity movement with struggles in Colombia. Struggles of indigenous people and Black people who are being deterritorialized. And it's a long story. I don't know if I have time to tell the story. Well, when was it? In 2011, to that 2010, we visited Colombia, and were invited to spend time with a community that is 500 years old of maroon slaves who were. Okay, well. I tell you what, Google La Toma, Colombia.
And the name, Francia Marquez.
Yes, so
La
Toma, T-O-M-A.
Yes.
Yes. So because the technicians are very anxious to go home, it's a holiday, and we have to respect the working class. Let me just say that you're absolutely right about the importance to rethink education, and not only at the university level, but also at the elementary and secondary level. I'll say just very briefly that those of us who have been involved in the prison abolitionist movement for a long time recognized early on that there was a connection between schools and prisons. As a matter of fact, there is what we call a school-to-prison pipeline. And in so many poor Black communities, communities of color, the schools look more like prisons than they look like schools. And the students learn how to be disciplined. The students actually are not given an education. And so when we talk about the need to abolish prisons, we also have to abolish the educational system as it is today and to rethink, reimagine, create an entirely new
I just want to acknowledge again the comment about domestic workers and I mean, this is a problem in so many places. I want to mention also our work with people in solidarity with Palestine has pointed out the domestic workers in Israel, for example, from many parts of the world. This is an ongoing issue in the United States, and there's a lot of activism actually around it, and you are speaking to the activism here, so I want to thank you for that. It would be a much longer conversation, actually, to talk about this. Of course, usually I spend a lot of time talking about education. It's a passion for me for maybe obvious reasons. And as a university professor, I didn't say that I was, but also someone who cares about education at every stage. Maybe the best thing to mention, because we have such short time, is that we spent an hour or so today at the Black Diaspora School. Where there was a beautiful library collection and a space with lots of amazing students. That kind of institution is extremely important to begin the challenge of what is presented in these textbooks. And also the drive to move away from the standardized curricula in every space, which are so much about suppressing local communities and how people are can be learning in other spaces. So I wish we could say more, but we must thank everyone very much and close the session for today.
Thank you.